Saying a special good morning to our listeners, good morning to our viewers. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. It's Thursday, the 7th day of May, 2026. You know, usually on the Thursday we host various departments within the RGPF. We do have, of course, with us this morning, of course, a couple of female police officers this morning. I'll certainly introduce them shortly. But also, let me say good morning to our listeners and viewers via our social media platforms. We're talking about the Facebook page, YouTube channels. Good morning to you. Welcome. Certainly happy to have you with us this morning. Those of you at home listening and viewing, also welcome. It's To The Point. I'm your host, GT. Let me say good morning to, of course, my guests. I did mention female police officers, but I should give them their proper ranking. If I could say, we have Inspector, of course, is it Holder Lambert? I'm right about that. I know I always make it's a good mix-up.
Inspector Holder here, Inspector Huckley's Lambert here. Okay. So it's a good mix-up.
I thought it was it was Holder Lambert. My bad. I'm no worse with names. Forgive me for that. Let me say good morning to you, officers, and welcome to the point back again. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, Randy. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. Yes. And I should probably preempt it by saying happy advance Mother's Day to both of you also.
Yes, of course. Thank you
so much.
I have to say that to you this morning.
Thank you.
Our focus conversation this morning, it's a pretty important one, but sometimes folks don't realize, police, especially the female police officers, they are mothers themselves.
Of course.
You understand? And sometimes folks may say, she's just a female in the police force. As simple as that. Not knowing how tough it is, especially being a police officer as a female and being a mother, managing your family and so forth. Tell me, we're talking about celebrating mothers in policing. Talk to me about that. When you say celebrating mothers in policing.
Okay, good morning to you again.
It's GT.
GT,
yeah.
And good morning to the listening and viewing public. Now, this discussion this morning is not just about recognition, but it's about sharing stories of inspiration, highlighting some of the achievement of mothers who have forged path in this male-dominated field.
Yeah.
Now we serve as role models, demonstrating that we can how we can balance the obligation of family obligations and also our commitment to public service.
Yes.
Now, in the realm of policing, the role of mothers often go unnoticed. Yet, JT is one of the most profound and impactful positions, because as mothers, we are expected to be role models. We are expected to be that pillar of support for both our home, our family, our job and the wider community. And so this morning, as we recognize women in policing, we want to celebrate our achievements. We want to reflect on some of our contributions and advocate for greater support from our policing community.
Yeah. All right. There's a saying that, police women who are of course, who are mothers are often, navigating is what we say, that dual role.
Yes.
You understand? Navigating that dual role that require balancing that 24/7 emergency response somewhere there in terms of the demand of your family and your job, as you rightfully mentioned a while ago. As you mentioned, it also has been traditionally a masculine organization. Yeah, we always say, a policeman. It's always been mentioned on that. Talk to me about that cultural and structural imbalance, or the barriers between there. If you could speak to me in relation to that.
Mm-hmm. Well, as mothers in policing and women in the broader scope of things, we bring a unique diversity into the profession. As you know, historically, women were not seen as suitable for the profession because of the police. You said police force, right? We're expected to use force, and usually you see women as a softer side, the feminine side, as not suited for this kind of environment. So that was one of the reasons why in the beginning women were usually given clerical work in policing, so that was our role.
Yes.
But right now we are full, we take part in everything. There's gender equality in policing, and we are expected to perform as the men, right? And we bring that softer side into the profession, that softer side. And there are men, yes, with softer side as well, right? But we train these gender norms and so forth. So generally, talking about generally, not for everybody, generally we bring that softer side into policing, and the transferable skills that motherhood gives us into the organization as well, that translate into the service that we provide to the public, right? Because at the home, we have to nurture, and sometimes, more importantly, you'll find single-headed women who are mothers, who are the single and the head of the household.
Yes.
That male figure is still not there. So you're performing the male and female role in the home, the male and female role in the organization, because you have to face, you have to use force, you're expected to deal with situations as the men, right? So you're wearing that dual role both in the home sometimes and in the profession.
All right. Do it sometimes feels different for you being a police officer and being a mom? Does it feel different in light of a regular female who is just a mother? Does it have a level of difference for you in that particular role?
Well, of course, because one of our biggest challenge as mothers in the force is the shift system. JT, we operate on a shift system. The public service, you work from 8 to 4, Monday to Friday. Even if you are being given maternity leave for 3 months, after 3 months, a mother, let's say a mother who's a teacher or public servant or so, they return to work and they work 8 to 4 and go home in the afternoon to take care of the family obligations. With regards to women police, now being a police mother, you get that same 3 months maternity leave, and for 1 year you are required to work, or you will be granted permission to work from 8 to 4. But JT, I believe that is not sufficient, because, and my reason being is that children, the first 5 years of a child's life, that's where they form themselves. And it is important, it is necessary for mothers to be home. Because imagine, JT, after the baby is 1 year, you return to work, and you have to fall back on the shift. So for 4 days you're in the station, and that baby is left home. Now we're in her grandmother's again.
Unable to put them to sleep at night.
Right, and case in point, I'm a grandmother, but I'm working. So most grandmothers now are working. Yes, the family structure is kind of different now. So I think we have to clamor more to accommodate mothers in policing. Mothers, even we have clerical areas in the force that after you get after the 1 year or so, you could be given transfer to a area where you work 8 to 4. Let's say for the first 3, 4, 5 years, so that you can get that opportunity to be home, to be there, bonding also with your
I hope
children.
your superiors are listening. And of course.
I hope so too.
No, I want to expand on the challenges a wee bit, because the challenges go very far, especially as mothers in policing. We're talking about the culture, the structural part of it. We're talking also about balancing act, the guilt you may feel as you spoke about missing your that son or daughter, their first step, and stuff like that. You may miss it. You may get a call saying, "Hey, you walked today," or you started walking, or something of the sort. The equipment part of things, the physical issues and so forth. I want to expand on that just a wee bit in terms of those challenges. How do you feel as women in policing, and as mothers per se, also in policing?
Just to qualify one of the statements that Inspector Holder said, is not only that we work shift, but that we are expected to sleep in the station.
Okay.
So sometimes you might work midnight to 12, 4 to midnight, and then you get to go home. But really and truly, the proper execution of policing, you have to stay in barracks, because you must always have reserve capacity in case of an emergency that officers can respond. So you must always have reserve strength at the station for just in case an emergency and you need extra manpower. So ideally, officers, the male and the females, should be, when they're on duty, at the station at all times, right? Whether you're on active duty or you're doing that reserve capacity. So sometimes you will find women having to stay in the station 2 and 3 days without even going home. Secondly, you can be working in, let's say, Central Division today, and tomorrow you will be transferred to Carriacou, because we work through all the state of Grenada.
Yes.
Your address is this street, you come to work here at GBN at this location.
Yes.
Our work location is everywhere throughout Grenada. So you can be here today, and then you have to be flexible and adapt your family to that movement as well. You may be working in regular policing today, and then you may be placed in another branch, another department, where you have to do always adjusting and so forth. So these are the other challenges and that we have to face. And of course, we understand that is the nature of the job when we went in. All right, but that is the flexibility, the adaptability, and the dynamics that we operate in.
All right. You made a statement that had me thinking a wee bit. You know the nature of the job as females.
Yes.
We understand that. Now, so someone may be thinking like I am thinking, why should you be treated differently to the male?
Exactly.
We understand you're females. We understand that part of it. But the question
JT,
is, why?
We should be treated differently because we are the child bearers. Now the nation needs children.
Yes.
So if having children is a deterrent, then most women would not want to have children.
Yes.
What I think we can do, I think as a force, we can be more generous with parental support.
Yeah.
Yes, because we have the mothers who are there. So we get 3 months maternity leave, and we home all by ourselves, giving care to that child. Where is that dad? Now, I should add that in the May Day in Carriacou this year,
yes,
one of the announcements that was made is that male will be granted so
we're getting 2 weeks.
2 weeks paternal leave. And I welcome that. But I think in the force and most we have a lot of the women police whose spouse are male police. Yeah. And I think within ourselves we can do flexible detail for like family detail, and flexible detail where we can give the men an opportunity to assist with caregiving. I think that's one of the things that we have to clamor for, because we have to give the men have to be an intrinsic part in nurturing and bringing up bringing that child. It's a lot for as I say, police work is shift, the hours can be long and unpredictable, and sometimes we missed out. It get into conflict with our family obligations. So I think we have to climb up for the male to get some of the leave and the flexibility in duties as the female.
All right.
Yeah, but GT,
I really want to expand on that because I still want to know the why. Eh?
Can I just say, I'm on record as saying that we should be treated equally as the men. We get same pay.
Yes.
We understand the profession, and the men could say, okay, we need that amount of time as well.
Yeah.
It's a unique organization, right? And these are the kind of considerations that persons have to make before they enter the profession, right? But the public must know the amount of sacrifice that it takes to be, right, a police officer, a policewoman. But I am on the record as saying that we should be treated equally.
All right. I mean, I don't think anyone is against you getting that opportunity where you can spend more time, and given that opportunity where, especially being mothers, that you get to spend more time with your children, especially at that tender age. I don't think no one would discriminate against you in reference to that. I certainly would. I mean, I'm a father, so I know what it's like to see when a woman gives birth to a child and the pressure that she has to go through. So I think most men who are listening, who are fathers themselves, would understand that. But my thing is that, or my take about it, maybe a little bit, not what you may want to understand in my term, but knowing the nature of the job. Police. Mm-hmm. You understand, being a police, and I just thinking that you should know what you're getting into. That's how I think I feel about it.
That is my position as well.
No, but JT, we know what we're getting into. Mm-hmm. But as I said before, understanding the role of mothers, as I said before, early I said that our role as mothers go unnoticed. JT, that motherhood give us that experience of being empathetic, being able to communicate, and so we are the ones who are more effective communicating with the vulnerable population, the female population, with children. Motherhood give us that experience.
Yes.
Where we as mothers, you have to manage your home, you have to manage behavior, you have to manage children, you have to manage all things as mothers. As mothers, you're a natural manager. So I'm saying, should it be disadvantage being a mother? No, I don't think so.
No, you shouldn't.
So here we can talk equality in terms of work, and so we must strike that balance.
All right, understandable. So we're due for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we continue with the conversation. Stay with us, folks. To the Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We're coming right back. Don't touch it out.
From here, the melody, it's me, Martin, and dancing to the fullest. And listen, Grenada, you don't have to ask me if I love you, I do. Now listen up, it's all about Sunshine Promotions presents its 25th anniversary on May the 9th, 2026. Yours truly, Christopher Martin, will be here live and direct at the National Stadium, so make sure you forward out. It's gonna be sweet sugar reggae coming at you all night, you understand? I can't wait to see you. Beautiful ladies, the first 2,000 of you to reach the venue will stand a chance to win out of $20,000 in cash prizes, you understand? So make sure you forward out early. I can't wait to see you. See you there.
Life doesn't stand still. It moves. It grows. It asks you to believe in what's next. Your first car. Owning your home. The business you build. The future you choose to invest in. Life moves in steps. When you're ready to take the next one, we're here to help you move forward with banking solutions designed for life. From vehicle financing and mortgages to education savings, credit solutions, and support for your growing business. Republic Bank, ready for life, every step.
At 5 p.m. on August 5th, 1944, the schooner Island Queen sailed out of the St. George's Harbor. On board were some of Grenada's brightest and best sons and daughters. What happened afterwards remains a mystery.
Where Island Queen gone?
Heritage Theatre Company presents Lucy's Straw Hat, a full-length drama written and directed by Chris DeRiggs, a moving story about a family caught up in the drama of this great mystery. Meet Mammy Sylvie, a woman with a secret too heavy to keep but too painful to reveal.
I'm asking for forgiveness for not telling you the truth.
Pa John, the war veteran.
Sometimes I sit here feeling so helpless, so crushed.
Hyacinth, always ready to do mischief.
You don't see the woman Uncle Norris married. She face ugly enough to turn milk.
Lucy, beautiful and headstrong.
I had a dream, Mommy, that Hyacinth was there, holding my hand.
Lucy's Straw Hat at Grenada Trade Center on Saturday 13th and Sunday 14th June, and at the Luke Cinema on Saturday 20th and Sunday 21st June. All shows 7 p.m. Advance tickets $60, $75 at the door. Come join us.
Where Island Queen gone?
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458. But hurry, registration closed April the 30th. Don't wait. Bring your fire, bring your flavor, and bring your A-game. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026, where champions are made on the grill.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers once again, officers. Welcome back to, of course, today's edition of To The Point. And I want to continue the conversation. I want to talk about the support mechanism and policies, especially for female police officers and mothers in the force. When I say the support mechanism, I'm talking about, we did cover certain parts of it already. Mm-hmm. We told you, of course, officer did mention about, the flexible working and childcare. We did talk about that briefly. In terms of the maternity return support and so forth. Let's talk about mentorship and peer groups within the force. How is that? How do you see that helping a whole lot?
Well, JT, myself and Inspector Hercules Lambert here, we joined the service 26 years ago. And we both came in with all our children.
Okay.
So all our children are over 27 years. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so we as mothers in the force are required to, we have officers who have 19, 20, 21 years. So as officers in the force, we have a responsibility as mothers to mentor these young officers. We have to coach them. We have to, we have to be there, be that support. Because joining the force doesn't mean that they have fully matured. They say that a person reach maturity at the age of 25, and here we have 19. And when we're dealing with laws, we're dealing with powers of arrest or so. We have to guide these people, because policing in itself policing in itself gives you that power to arrest. And so when you have powers, you must be responsible. So we have to keep coaching, keep mentoring these young people, so that when they get out there, we have a lot of discretionary powers. That when they get out there, they make the best decision, and so that everybody will be pleased.
And added to that, as commanders, because Hola is in charge of St. Paul's Police Station, I'm second in charge of Central Police Station. As commanders, we detail our staff and understanding the dynamics of motherhood, right? Even the force has a policy: if you make a child, you have 1 year morning shift, so you can get to go home to that child. That is in addition to your maternity leave, so you have that 1 year grace. But as commanders, where we're given the discretion to detail persons, right, and having walked that road ourselves, and we know the challenges of our staff, we have that discretion as well to detail them in a way that they can meet family commitments, and so there is that flexibility built into the system. And as female commanders, we are well placed, right, to understand the dynamics of female and mothers in policing and accommodate them as commanders ourselves.
Let's talk a wee bit about the contribution as mothers. Yeah, I mean, we tap a little bit into it. Contribution of mothers, especially in policing. When we say the contribution that you make as mothers in policing.
Well, I would say as not only as mothers, but as females, right? Because under that subgroup, motherhood is a subgroup of females, right? And as we say, we are groomed to be nurturers, right? That's how we, or gender roles, right? Of course, we socialize in that way to be nurturers, and maybe biologically as well, it's natural. So we bring that ability to conflict resolution, to multitask, right? We bring all of those things, that ability to listen and bring people together to bridge that gap, right? Dealing with children. A lot of our issues now are dealing with schools and with children and so forth. Understanding the dynamics of children and being able to bridge gap even between parents. There may be some parents that are not fulfilling the role that they're supposed to, and we can step in as using ourselves as examples as mothers, as to show, right, and not only to as Inspector Hola said to arrest, but to show this is how we can do it, and to really speak with heart, because we understand the situation. And as Hola said, the younger females, we're there to groom them, because it's a male-dominated organization. How to navigate this new space, this new environment where the majority of us are males, and as the minority here, how do you navigate this male environment and make it in this profession that was historically thought to be a male area, right? So we are there to nurture the younger women and the mothers as well, and to accommodate them, right? And especially in our role as female commanders.
You know, when I spoke about, the how it contributes to mothering and policing, in reference to when I say, the enhancing communication per se, and that being empathy, showing empathy, a whole lot. What about that community trust and so forth that comes about being a mother?
Well, of course, JT, as mothers, we are more attuned to balancing this personal role and our professional role. Okay. And so we as mothers, now, policing are measured, police are measured with a different yardstick from the normal public.
That's true.
Yes. So we are expected to be that role model, to be there, be that example for young women to follow, that example for the whole community. And as I say, the experience of parenthood give us that influences the way we do things, the way we operate. We are more empathetic. We have a softer approach. We are more understanding to the needs of people, and as I say, especially the vulnerable. We have victims that are abused,
domestic abuse,
sexual abuse also, and so we need we there as that support, because we can understand what it is that the people are going through. We can understand that level of trauma because we are female ourselves. It may not happen to us, but because, as the inspector say here, because probably biology, the whole dynamic of the female gender and the male gender, certain things we are better understanding too, yes?
So there's like a level of difference for you than a regular female out there, because I mean you have gone through a vigorous training,
of course,
not only physically but mentally also,
of course.
When you become an officer, there's a lot of that level of training that you go through. I want to ask this question also, that diverse perspective that people see police officers as, especially female, where when I say diversity in terms of in policing, including having that mother, especially into that mother way in terms of leadership, in terms of the roles, results in more reflective and effective policing in the force. Do you believe that helps a whole lot?
Before I just wanted to add to a point, Ms. Holame. Someone made it yesterday. It was a very profound statement, and I never saw it that way. That in the Grenadian society, where someone may not know a father, they always will know a mother, because you may not know your father, but you will always most likely know your mother. So seeing police, they will always gravitate to a woman because of a dynamic of single-headed household and so forth, absentee fathers and so, that this role represents stability for the community because we all know our mothers.
Yes.
Right? So that was a profound statement for me. I never saw it that way. But in conversation, another program we went to, that comment stayed with me, right? Especially not having known my father myself. Understanding that this role is one that people can gravitate to and understand in our Grenadian society, the female role.
That's so true.
And will be able to respect and understand what we go through on a daily basis. But going back to leadership, going back to that question that you asked, we as female commanders, we of course command both male and female under us, right? And we have had, from my personal experience, the same respect within the organization by our junior, whether it's male or female, that we see our male commanders that they get, right? We're given equal responsibility in terms of commanding the stations and so forth, and of course we bring all that skill set of motherhood, of womanhood, and everything else into that position as well. And we have a little culture at the RGPF where the most senior female in the organization is just a culture, I think, same as mom.
Okay.
Right? They mentor both the female and the male. And you may find officers calling the most senior female mom, even the males. Mom, right? So it's just a culture or something that is evident and obvious within the organization as well.
Right. I mean, from a personal perspective also, do you sometimes feel as females, especially in the position that you hold within the ranks of the force, do you feel that you are less effective in terms of your tasks that you perform, especially to other police officers, because you're looking at this big strong policeman and you have to talk to him because he's probably under your rank, or he may feel, well, I am a man, she's a woman, so I don't think she should talk to me in that particular way, especially when it comes to the conversation of what they should do as in your position as inspectors and so forth. Do you make you feel that impression comes around at you at all?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No. I think we, as I say, we are mothers and natural leaders.
Yes.
So true.
Yeah.
We are natural managers. Yes. And I don't see any disparity in the male or female gender with regards to obtaining respect from our juniors, because the force is a disciplinary organization, and we have a structure. So that in itself is a kind of safeguard as to how we address people, how we talk to people. The instructions we give, and so that is Normally made, it's naturally made for us because of the structure of the force. You know, we have a hierarchy structure and we have a chain of command. So I think that in itself is a safeguard for both male and female.
All right, you don't feel because I'm inspector, I could talk to GTS or I want. No, you don't. You don't really feel that way.
No.
All right.
Yes.
We due for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we continue with the conversation. Stay with us, folks. To the point. Classic Radio GBN TV. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Got the turn. Listen now, let's all about Blazer Shuffle like a reason. On all listen the 30th of May, it's all about GBN, Maggie, King of the Grill. This year, we are the junior segment. And all know the regular thing. Heat in the place, a lot of flavor. All of us see real smoke, real thing. Make sure you come on Monrouge playing field. 30th of May. Yeah, baby. And this up? So when you come out, let we have a time, eat some chicken, eat some pork, and enjoy yourself. GBN, Maggie, King of the Grill. I'm out.
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458.
Boom! From here, the melody, you know it's me, Martin, and dancing to the fullest. And listen, Grenada, you don't have to ask me if I love you, I do. Now listen up, it's all about Sunshine Promotions presents its 25th anniversary on May the 9th, 2026. Yours truly, Christopher Martin, will be here live and direct at the National Stadium, so make sure you forward out. It's gonna be sweet sugar reggae coming at you all night, you understand? I can't wait to see you. Beautiful ladies, the first 2,000 of you to reach the venue will stand a chance to win out of $20,000 in cash prizes, you understand? So make sure you follow out early. I can't wait to see you. See you there.
Before the digital age, before the world moved at the speed of a click, there was a signal connecting a nation. In 1986, a journey in broadcasting began in Grenada, a journey that would grow into a trusted voice across the country. For 40 years, through radio and television, we've been there for the stories that shaped our nation, the news that mattered, the voices that informed us, the moments that brought us together. Your stories, your voices, your moments. The Grenada Broadcasting Network, 40 years strong, one nation, one network.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. If you see me smile, we've been having that bit of off-air conversation there, and it's really interesting. Officers, welcome back. I want to talk a wee bit the inspiring the next generations, especially for female officers, not only young men also, who will want to become, police officers. What that inspiration that you think especially for the next generation, in terms of breaking the stereotypes and all of these things, let's talk about that.
Well, JT, I always say that policing is the best job for any young person at this point. And policing, well, you see, most of the jobs now you come in and you're on contract for probably a couple of years or so.
Yeah.
When you come into policing, you come in permanent. Now, as a young person in policing, there are so many avenues to success.
Yeah.
Myself and the inspector here, we did all our studies in the force.
Okay.
And we achieved at a very, very high level. Yes, the force is accommodating in terms of studying. We have a lot of persons in who in the force now in SGU who are studying online. You have a lot of avenues to success in the force. So
there's a personal growth.
It's a lot for personal growth. There's a lot of opportunities in the force. So any young person, I will encourage them. I will support them if they want to be a police officer. That's the best thing that can happen to them. Along with when they get into the force, the level of discipline that is being instilled. Mm-hmm. Yes, that will help them also along the journey. So I believe that that policing in itself is an inspiration for any young person.
All right.
And in the context of motherhood, what we hear, the story is that you can come in as a mother as we did, right? And if you have a goal, a vision for yourself, you can accomplish it despite being a mother.
Okay.
So do not let motherhood, whether you be a deterrent. But what I have found is that motherhood has been an inspiration for your push to really grind and succeed, because you have those children, you have a family to take care of. It gives you focus, right? And it should not be a deterrent, right? As Misola said, we came in with our kids and we both have attained master's level within the force, right? Master's level within the force. So you can do it. Motherhood does not deter you from rising also our ranks, from rising within the ranks of the force, right? As we say, it hones your leadership skills. There are other transferable skills from motherhood into policing that really makes the thing make sense, right? So there's a place for mothers in the Royal Grenadier Police Force, whether you already have kids or whether you're in the force and you choose to become a mother, right? So you can come in or you can become a mother within. It's based on maybe life, it's luck or fate or whatever. Some people don't plan it, but it happens. But whatever stage you're at, if you want to plan your children later on and you come in, that should not be a deterrent. We say come in, be focused, have a goal in mind, and you can achieve. And the force allows you that opportunity to. Besides all the challenges that we spoke of, there is room for personal development and growth.
And it has also helped in terms of the resilience in actions.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Also, if I may add, JT, the permanency of our jobs allow us to go to the bank and get loans, for studies, to build homes, to buy vehicles also. It is really easy for a police officer to achieve and attain, whether it be monetary or educational wise or whatever. It is very, very easy for the police officers. So I will encourage, as I say, any young person to join. Policing is the place to be.
Females in particular.
Yes.
You offer that encouragement.
Females,
sometimes it's always seen as a deterrent for females.
No.
You spoke of both of you coming into the force by being mothers already.
Yes.
And some folks may see that as a deterrent, but they should not make that a deterrent from wanting to be. You were a mom and you wanted to be a police officer. It's probably always been your dream to become one. That should also inspire you to come in there. Seeing the advancement that both of you have made in the job, that is a way of encouraging folks.
But it came with, as I say, a vision, a goal, self-development, because the quality of police officers that are required now, right, you're under a lot of scrutiny, whether it's in social media or whatever. So do not become a mother and can just be, you have to come in and be able to be a quality officer that the public deserve, right? So always improving yourself, the life of your children, and the life of the organization, and better service to the public. All right? So you have to navigate all of these roles and be your best self for your home, for the organization, and for the public that we serve.
All right. You know, we had this off-air conversation. I think I'm going to challenge you with it. Being a police officer, especially the ranks that you got, has it made you feel that, you know, a level of being in charge in your personal life and so forth? And I'm seeing that smile.
Yes, JT. Well, I'm a family person.
Yes.
So I grew up with children and husband and so. And yes, the operations in the force could kind of project itself to the home. So sometimes, you know, you have to always be on your guard. You have to be in that authoritative position. You have to always be, you know, giving instruction. And so we can project that kind of behavior,
Yes.
In our personal life.
But has it affected the quality of your life in any way?
Well, me personally, it has not. but I don't know. But me personally, it has not. But I know there was instances when the whole issue of the policing
may have stepped
into the home. Mm-hmm. That issue was raised in the past. I know that.
All right.
For me, because you're supposed to be in command and in charge. So let me translate into other areas, and people can say, okay, you're pushy, you're this, you know, and then you're always sometimes in fighting mode because you're always so alert, always, you know, you're trained to neutralize situations, to fight, to protect, to solve. So yes, it can become ingrained in your personality, and you can, you know, maybe turn kind of male-ish, as they say, the kind of male personality.
All right.
You know,
it brings out the man in you.
It brings out the man in us, yes.
All right. But is there a way that you have learned to balance it off? Both to be in the police, the mom, have you learned how to balance it off in that particular area? We have our own.
I love that question, and that is where the difficulty lies, or the challenge lies at some time. Even just taking care of ourselves, and for Mother's Day, encouraging all the women just step back and relax and take time for ourselves, because we're always in this mode, in this mindset, right? And then we have a challenge here from leading our homes, leading the organization, and just being able to step back and protecting others, protecting our children, protecting the community, protecting our younger officers. We're always in that protective, tense mode. Trauma, you know, we face a lot of trauma as police officers, and just taking care of self and just balancing everything out and just relaxing and saying it's okay to just relax and just take time for you. That could be in our position. It's a challenge
sometimes.
But it's a good reminder for us, GT, to, as you ask that question, that we really need to reflect on those things, and we don't have to always be in crisis mode or in this kind of mode that the work places us in, right? Just naturally, because of a bunch of tension that we navigate every day, right? We can always be in this mode.
And if I should add, GT, I believe the experience in policing. So as you grow, you are become more self-aware.
Okay.
You know, because some of the time we must step back and do our own introspection and become self-aware as to what is happening around us. Sometimes some of the things that we critique or we reprimand people for, this is the same things we do, you know. So we have to see it in your personal life. So you always have to be self-aware, and you always have to be on guard. That's what policing does.
All right. We're going to take that final break for the program this morning. When we come back, we give the opportunity to our listeners and viewers. Of course, we have the officers this morning on the program, and we're talking, you know, mothers in policing. So that's our conversation this morning. When we come back, we open up the lines. I see the lines already going, but when we come back, we get into those calls. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
In paradise, you felt the rhythm. Now let's make sure you say it right. My name is Florian. I'm from the beautiful Aida Perla cruise ship. So today, like we Germans say, we are in Grenada. But I heard in English it's called Grenada. Say it right. Grenada.
Say it right.
Grenada.
That's right. Grenada. There we go. Say it right. It's Grenada. It's not Grenada. It's Grenada. Say it right.
Fire up the coals, bring the flavor. It's time to crown the King of the Grill. Maggie King of the Grill 2026 is calling you. Think you got the creativity, the skills, and the fire to rule the grill? This is the ultimate showdown for chefs, backyard masters, and the food lovers alike. Step up, show your talent, and claim your spot among the best. With over $5,000 in cash and prizes to be won, the stakes has never been hotter. Happening Saturday, May the 30th. Register now. Call or WhatsApp 407-8458. But hurry, registration close April the 30th. Don't wait. Bring your fire, bring your flavor, and bring your A game. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026, where champions are made on the grill.
Get ready for the mother of all bingos, because Sunday, May 17th, the entire nation will be heading to the National Cricket Stadium for the massive Mega Force promotions, cars and cash. Mega Bingo! It all goes down from 5 p.m. and this year you can win not one, not two, but 3 hybrid cars. We're talking a Suzuki Ignis, a Subaru XV, and a Honda Vissel. But that's not all. You can also get a chance to win $30,000 in cash. Grab your tickets now. $60 for one or $100 for two. And did I mention free buses will be available island-wide? This is the event no one should miss. Sunday, May 17th. Cars and cash Mega Bingo. National Cricket Stadium, we're coming. Brought to you by Caribbean. It's the way we play.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Once again, as mentioned before the break, we'll give this segment to you, listeners and viewers out there. If you want to ask a question or two to our officers in studio this morning, 435-2041. Double options for you to call in via the WhatsApp and the direct line. I'm seeing one question via the WhatsApp before we go to the phone line. Someone is asking, good morning to the officers, and could you consider you are considered civil servants? Do you think that all civil servants should have the same opportunity? I guess in terms of where you talk about the paternity leave and all of these things, do you think all civil servants should have the same opportunity? I'm not sure if that's a direction you want to go in terms of answering.
Oh. Well, I don't think that all civil servants should have the same opportunity, because the civil servant jobs varies.
Okay.
Yes. So if you're talking opportunities in terms of pay or so, then all well and good. Mm-hmm. But in terms of leave and paternity and maternity leave and time spent in barracks or so, I don't think we should have we will have the
right.
We should have
again, they wasn't specific in terms of they wasn't too specific, so
okay.
We have our first caller. Caller live. Good morning, welcome.
Morning GT, and morning to your esteemed guests. One of them, they know me well, and I have known her since she was a preschooler. First of all, let me see. Did you give me about 3 minutes or so to talk?
But we are a bit strapped for time, so.
Yeah, I know. But I tell you before, without cutting me, what I'm saying is that, let me see, especially since invasion, after a failed situation with revolution, when something was being made to really modernize the police. In recent times, I can say the police have grown and matured enormously. The fact that now you have psychiatrists and so community police, in about 85 or 86, I applied to join the police. I passed the exam, and the police couldn't handle me because I had a disability. I was one of those people who suffer from polio, but I am movable. And when I saw later on that they were doing community stuff, I was so glad. Now, the officers mentioned some important thing, including Van mentioned that most people, even if they may not have a father, they could identify with a mother, and mothers have tremendous impact on the individual. So I think this is something we need to consider. In fact, some people have been saying before in recent years we should have more female, more women, not female, but women politicians, because women have a different, approach to things. So these are things we need to consider. And Gigi, when they were coming in, you did something which unconsciously, and not inviting you. You said 2 female officers. The fact is that if it was 2 male, you wouldn't say 2 male. I'm saying we do those things unconsciously, and we have to really break those things. And it's because of the patriarchal system that we've been conditioned under. But I think generally, we need to consider, and also the least things. The other officers talk about it, a few years ago, one of the officers who has since retired and died called me about minutes to 1 in the morning and said, Joseph, you were one of the only person I could call. She said, I can't sleep. And I asked her why. She said, because of the shift system. And of course, if officers want to spite you, they put you on shift that she was on all kind of different shifts, so her body was getting confused. And she couldn't sleep. So I think things most likely have improved based on all Van sounds speaking now. But we have to consider, in the light of female officers, women officers have to have children and take care of the children. Just as well in the Bible, you couldn't send a person in the army more than a year after you got married. Okay, we have to consider all of that, and that way gender issue comes in. The minute time we talk about gender in Grenada, people start thinking about homosexuality and sex and something. But it's a big thing in the structure. We need to dismantle the structure that impede women from making full contribution and being seen as human beings and not just a female joining the gang. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Well, I don't think I meant it in that particular way.
I know.
But of course, with the topic, it must, to be females, mothers in police.
I was just trying to distinguish that we have females in the studio. Yes. Anything you want to respond to the caller in terms of what he said? I know the caller very well, Mr. Antoine. He was one of my mentors growing up. He knows me from a child. So, and his comments are really on point. So I want to thank him for the comments and for the support. All right. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp, you're live. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Jay, and good morning to your guests.
Good morning,
officers. We have seen a governor general that is a woman. We have seen union leaders that is a woman. We have even seen opposition leader that is a woman. When are we going to see a commissioner of police in this country as a woman? I would really like to see that in my lifetime. But my substantial point is that, what about harassment? Because sometimes, you hear people call the women officers in the police force different names. And to me, what is really, is a man harassing the women on the job or like a young officer, woman going into the force? Do she have to go through this thing where the male would harass her and may force her to do things that she don't want to do? Do we have that in the force? And what we could stamp it out?
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Anyone respond to the caller in terms of his...
Okay, if I should respond, well, getting naturally where you have males and females, you will have this sort of attraction. But the force has policies to deal with persons when they step overboard, because we have a lot of police, a lot of women police whose spouse are police officers.
Okay.
You know, male and female married in the force. So, but in terms of the harassment aspect of it, we have policies to take care of person that been harassed. As long as it's been reported, then we can we have policies to guide what happen.
Right. Yeah, and it speaks to what we, as female commanders, be there to navigate the younger females coming in, how to navigate this male environment. So our role as mothers, in just not our biological children, but to transcend to the community and to our young females, navigating, and he's right, we're in a male-dominated environment. There may be a time you may have to work a late shift with a male. Yeah. You may have to do male and female in the diary. And people assume, based on what Antoine said, the gender roles, is that once a male and a female together, you're working late at night, something will have happened. Yes. And so, even unjustifiably so, right? People will call policewomen police mattress, and because we in the middle of it, we must work with them at some point in time, and it may be late in the night. And so people, because of our society, draws all kind of assumptions that she must be having some relationship with that man, or she get promoted. It must be not because of her own skill set, but because she's doing something else, right, to reach that position. So it talks about our education, yes, right, and the assumption that we make as a people. But I'm encouraging with this conversation to see not a policeman as a police matrix or just as a woman, but as a mother, because you have mothers, yes, right, and see us as, okay, you have a mother, you have a sister, and the same treatment you would like for them, that we are entitled, we should be given that same grace as well, not called names or made assumptions about us as well. So it's a good time to bring up that topic.
Great. All right. Yes. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Oh, a person. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I do not know much about military training, etc. Personally, from the point of view of child psychology, 3 months maternity leave, in my view, is not, should be more than that, so that the mother and child can get to know each other. In the case of, all right, when she has to go back to work, I think it's something like 6 months or something like that. But again, it depends on what or how the authority see it and the need for that particular officer to be at home. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone respond to the call? Anyone in terms of what you mentioned?
What I would like to see, GT, really is a care center that police have access to because of our shift system. That, okay, if I'm working from 40 minutes, I know my child is in this specialized care where there are professional caregivers that understands the nature of our work and so fills that gap that creates an additional support system. So I'm thinking we need greater support systems, not really different treatment for policewomen, but just more of these supportive that care, because most of their care closes at maybe 5, 6. Yeah. You have to pay for extra hours. But if you have a 24-hour daycare that women can leave, and you have your people who can teach your children, well professional people that can provide that support for not just the policewomen, but for police officers on the whole.
Okay.
And people in emergency services, that's where your child is.
Yes.
Under specialized care, you can get a call, you can pop in anytime and so forth.
Okay, great. We do have another caller. Caller live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT. Thank you. Great program. I really, really love it. And I want to make a recommendation, and I'll tell you why. I would like to recommend that, especially the young police women who are still having children, they do have do a parenting class for them. And I'll tell you why. I was speaking to a career teacher who said that some of the worst and most ill-disciplined children they deal with are the children of female police officers. Not all, but quite a lot, because I did investigate not just that particular teacher saying, but other teachers, right? And one of the reasons is that children feel when my mommy, not daddy, mainly mommies, when my mommy is a police officer, I could do whatever I want. And I don't know if it has to do, I'm trying to speak fast because I know the time is fast spent. when my mommy is a police officer, I could do whatever I want. And sometimes the police women would intimidate the teachers and so on. So the children are ill-disciplined. So, as I said, not all police women, but I found it is quite a lot. So I think the support would be necessary for a lot of the police women to get themselves together, organize a structure where they have parenting classes for police women. That's what I recommend this morning. But great program. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. You agree with the caller in terms of that?
Yes, I agree, but I will give a twofold answer to that. Well, first of all, I see the need for parenting program.
Yes.
I have my granddaughter with me. I have my granddaughter with me since she's 5 months. Now she's 8. And presently I'm enrolled in a parenting program.
Okay.
Because, learning is lifelong.
And the children are modernized now too?
And they are, exactly so, they are modernized now. And the issue with the children at school, that is disrespecting and, and is disrespecting because of the position, because the parents are female. And I believe that that it is a good time now, especially with that question, to see the need, because she didn't talk about police men children, she talked about women police children. Mm-hmm. Yes, and so JT, we have at 1 year old, we back on shift work. At your baby at is 1 year and you're back working shift. Who are there to take care of these children? Yes, when you work from midnight to 8 and from 4 to midnight after your child is 1 year old, who we have? In most cases, we have the bigger siblings looking at the younger ones. And that is my clamor for female who, within the first 5 years, as I said, this is the years when the children they are formative years. That's where they're forming themselves. We need that bond. We need the parents to be there to be directing. During hurricane, we have to leave our children and report to the station. We have, and all these things. So sometimes we leave our children home and we go to police the nation, and our children left sometime. And delinquency can step in.
That discipline cannot break down.
It cannot break down. That time, yes, that. So it was a really good question. A really good question the caller asked, and a really good observation. But that could be one of the reasons why these things are happening.
All right, we will take one more caller, and we take a wrap and get some closing contributions here. I guess we lost that caller there, so I guess we will wrap instead of going through another caller. Officers, I want to, of course, give you opportunity. Anything in closing you want to make, of course, and I did wish you a happy advance Mother's Day greetings in the opening of the conversation this morning. I think it was really an interesting conversation to know from a police woman perspective how you feel as a mother's perspective in the force, and I certainly hope that some of the things that you may have clamored for this morning, we'll see that change occurring. Hope the authorities are listening and make those changes come. Anything in closing before we wrap this morning?
Just to piggyback on what the last caller, when she said policewomen can be a little bit more accommodating and be defensive of their children. For me as a mother, experiencing the issues that you see children, young boys using marijuana, young girls, also the issues with young people will have been a push on me to tell my children, look, you need to be on the straight and narrow way. Yeah. So it can have the opposite effect as well as saying no, stricter discipline, right? Because you see what is out there, what are the issues. So there are so many different dimensions to as she said, it's some policewomen, but you can have the opposite effect where you're too strict because you understand the pitfall, you see the trauma every day. And sometimes my children told me that, Mom, you were just a little bit too strict. And it's because you live these things every day. So it have so much divergent effects on policewomen. Right.
Because sometimes you see that discipline showed at home, but when they get on the outdoors, it's a totally different, and you wonder, well, that's not the way you brought up that son or daughter of yours.
Yes, yes. And you can make it be a stricter parent as well. Yeah.
So anything else in closing before
JT, I want to take this opportunity to wish all the hardworking and strong mothers, not just the women police, but all the mothers of the nation, a happy and blessed Mother's Day on Sunday.
All right.
Yes. Likewise, here at GT, I want to extend a very good day, blessed day for the mothers, and also the mothers whose shoulders we stood on, right, as officers to be here today. My mom, Joan Hockley, I want to say a special Happy Mother's Day to you on Sunday. And the support system that policewomen get is very important. Yes. As we just explained the dynamics. So the fathers who support the policewomen, the police mothers, the aunts, the uncles, the grandmothers, and so forth, who give us that support to be policewomen, to go there and protect them. So we salute them as well. And we salute all the mothers of the nation. And we wish you all the best.
All right.
For Mother's Day.
So once again, thank you both this morning, and certainly hope all the best for the rest of the day. And of course, have a great Mother's Day.
Thank you, JT. You're welcome.
All right. Pleasure. Hey, folks, that's where we're going to wrap today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank all who contributed, those who sat at home and listened. Hope you have a great day. What's left of it. Until you have another edition for you, let me say goodbye.